So the brand new Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2s came out, but we still have the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s. Is it worth upgrading from the Gen 1s to the Gen 2s? And if you've never bought a pair of smart glasses before and you just want to get introduced, which one of these is a better one to buy? Well, you're going to find out in this video. But first, I'm trying to provide as much value as I can in this video. So if you appreciate that and it helps you make a decision, you don't have to use my Amazon links to buy anything. In fact, I'm going to recommend that you don't for a particular product in this video. So all I ask is that you subscribe. And if you do that, I promise I'll try to provide more and more value to you in the future with every single video. Now, appearance-wise, these glasses are exactly the same. They're honestly is no difference. In fact, they're so similar that the exact same lenses from the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s can fit in the Gen 2s. I already took them out and tested them in my video yesterday. You'll also notice I have an accessory on here that completely removes the LED light. No hassle, you can take pictures and videos indoors, whatever you want. But just know that if you are upgrading from the Gen 1s to the Gen 2s, basically all your accessories are going to be able to port over, which is great. Also, the cases are exactly the same for both of these glasses, which is kind of funny. They'll fit in either case. This is the Gen 1 case, fits and charges. They are literally the exact same size. So more or less, both glasses are going to have Meta AI, so you can ask whatever AI questions you want. And not just general questions. You can also ask about what you're looking at. If you're in the US or the UK, you can add funny celebrity voices like John Cena or Kristen Bell as the voice assistant. There's a live AI mode that continuously records and lets you ask questions as you're walking around. And you can listen to music, make calls, and even text people all just with your voice using these glasses. There's also a bunch of other really clever workarounds for doing things like using Gemini or getting an infinite record limit, and tons of tips and tricks on this channel if you want to get even more out of your Ray-Ban Metas. They're also adding a conversation focus feature to both of these glasses that allows you to cancel out the noises around you, sort of mute your surroundings, and just boost the volume of the person who's right in front of you talking to you in that moment in time. They demoed this at Meta Connect for the Gen 2s, but they also said it's going to be rolled back to the Gen 1s. So there's a couple key differences between these two versions. Gen 1 has a battery life of around 4 to 6 hours, whereas the Gen 2 has a battery life of 8 hours. Not quite double, but still a really, really good improvement. If you're the type of person that's gonna wear your glasses all day, you're definitely gonna notice this. If you don't ever wanna take them off, especially if they're prescription, and you only wanna use one pair all the time, the Gen 2s are just gonna be a better option, especially if you have the extra money to be able to pay for it. That being said, if you just wear your glasses periodically from time to time, or you get a sunglasses version and just wear them outside, the 4 to 6 hours is more than enough. And you can even use an infinite battery accessory to make the glasses last forever. Unless you're like an avid content creator, then the Vanguards, I would argue, would be better, but more on that later. The second main difference is the camera quality. So the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s can shoot in 1080p at 30 frames a second in a 3x4 vertical and 12 megapixels for photos. The Gen 2s also have 12 megapixels for photos, but they can shoot in 3K 30 frames a second. Decently better video quality. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I've recorded with both of these. I've tested these Gen 2s for a couple days. I don't really notice the video quality jump from 1080 to 3K that much. I will say these Gen 2s have Wi-Fi 6, which is better than the Gen 1s. So the 3K videos transfer faster than the 1080 videos in the Gen 1s. So these transfer a lot faster than the Gen 1s, if that's something that's important to you. Both of these glasses support prescription from -6 diopters to +4. So if you wear a prescription and your vision is worse than that, that's definitely going to be something you want to take note of. So you'd want smart glasses that can actually make it all the way to your prescription if your vision is worse than that. But I think the other key difference between the Gen 2s and the Gen 1s is the fact that you can get 720, 120 FPS video. So really good slow-mo out of the Gen 2s and 1080 at 60 FPS. Double the FPS at 1080 as these glasses, you can get 3K 30 and you can get 720, 120 frames a second. Sadly, they haven't released the update in the app to actually let you use the slow motion yet in these glasses, but it is listed in the full spec list on the website. They haven't released the update to let these glasses do that yet. It's a bit weird, but that will be a feature you get, I would imagine, by the end of this month or sometime the beginning of next, hopefully. Another thing I want to mention is the audio. Do these new Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2s get louder than the Gen 1s? This is actually a question I've been asked directly in the comments, so let's test it right now. First, I'm going to turn the Gen 1s on. I'm going to turn the volume all the way up, and then I'll let you listen to how loud it is. Okay, now let's listen to the Gen 2s at max volume. They have the decibels listed at 76.1. Interesting, so this is weird. The Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s also list 720p at 120 FPS, so I wonder if the slow motion update is actually coming to the old glasses too, unless Meta's website's just really being weird right now. It doesn't list the 3K, so maybe you'll get slow motion in both now. That would actually be kind of crazy. We'll see if that comes true later when they finally release the update that adds all this. But it does say the loudness is the same on the website for the Gen 1s. These don't have a sort of loud mode or anything for the hard of hearing, but it's still a pretty good loud volume, at least from my perspective. Like, I wouldn't leave it on that volume for any prolonged amount of time, but definitely not as loud as some headphones get when they're in your ears, that's for sure. Really important thing for basically everyone is going to be the price. Gen 2s, whether Wayfarer, Skylar, or Headliner, all start at $379. If you get the sunglasses like I did, they're $409. And if you get either of the transition versions, it's $459. For the Gen 1 versions on Meta's website, they're listing them at $299. But if you visit the Amazon link in the description, you can actually get renewed Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s for just $239. So $239 is a $140 difference. Some of us, including myself, were hoping for a price drop to the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s when the Gen 2s came out. On Amazon, on Meta's website, anything. This did not happen, but something else did happen. Tons of people are selling their Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s in order to upgrade to the Gen 2s or the Oakley Meta Vanguards, or maybe even the displays. So because of that, these have actually dropped in price if you look in the right place. My recommendation, Facebook Marketplace. So if you go on Facebook, go to the Marketplace tab and search at the top Ray-Ban Meta. So obviously you just type it in, and right away, 13 miles from me, there's one selling for 150 bucks. You scroll down, there's a bunch of other ones. A lot of people are trying to sell them at the same price as they are on Amazon, which is kind of funny. But if you keep looking, you can see other ones that are 150. And I'm willing to bet that if I were to message any of these people, especially the ones that just updated to 150 and offered them something like 120, 130, they would probably sell them. So you can actually get the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 1s for cheaper than you ever could right now. If you've watched this channel at all, you know that the lenses don't really matter because you can get way better ones. So as long as you like the actual frames, you can get one of the cheaper versions if it doesn't come with transition lenses because they are so cheap to buy yourself. So now that you know this entire situation actually kind of changes. The Gen 2s will be $379, right? No one's selling these used or anything, but you can actually get the Gen 1s on Marketplace. Let's assume you don't negotiate at all. $150, super cheap for a pair of AI smart glasses. And if you've never owned smart glasses before and you don't even know if you're gonna like them, honestly, that is what I would recommend. If you know you're gonna love them, you've already tried smart glasses, you're sold on the entire idea, but you still just wanna get introduced to them and not have all the fancy displays and features, you know you're gonna love the higher battery life, then yeah, definitely the Gen 2s would be the way to go for you. But if you're just getting introduced, you don't know if you're gonna love them or not. The Gen 1s at $150 on Marketplace right now, crazy deal. So those are the main differences between these glasses. Let me know what you guys think, which one you would rather get, or if you wanna switch yours out for the Vanguards or the displays or the Rokids. I'm really interested to see like what glasses you guys are the most interested in. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what video you think I should do next. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. Until next time.